Welcome back to today's video, and today we are going to be simulating what if Poland created an empire. So today, we are going to be doing like what I just said for the intro, what if Poland did an empire, and we're going to go on straight with it. So first, um, I think they would try to get some kind of negotiation to get a union with the Lithuanians, either that or they would ally with the Lithuanians. Either between those two. And so that means the capital would go gone, would go bye bye, because they're now unifying underneath the Polish government. Alright, next, we would probably have them attack Czechia, the Czechian Republic, or Czechia Republic, however y'all like to say it, but first, they're going to be attacking Poland, not the world, sir. But we are going to have them go a little bit further, and they're going to start an expedition into Czechia. This is the first time they get to go into war. But there is something that does happen that they did not account for. One of their troops accidentally going off course and going into Czechia, or Slovakia, which will pull them into the war. They weren't going to try to do this early, but due to how their troops did it, they will go ahead and begin to invade. They will go ahead and invade into Slovakia and split them into a half. They will quickly take care of the other half and swiftly take them over. And they will take over the Czechian capital. They will split Czechia into two different groups. They will begin to push through into both sides, which will lead into the Czechian side Republic, Czechia Republic, almost fully surrendering, only being held up by Slovakia, which will end up losing significantly as they lose. But due to unprecedentedly how they didn't mean to attack Slovakia, they will take it as a 2-for-1 deal, and they will go ahead and annex both countries fully to integrate them into now the Polish Empire or Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth as a pretty famous country along the geography community, history community. Poland is a very famous country to play as in many video games. So the next country Poland would probably attack would be the Baltic countries. It'd either be peaceful annexation or turn them into multiple puppet states. I'm not going to simulate the war right here as their capital is way too close into proximity for them, so they would immediately win. So I'm just going to go ahead and color them fully into Poland, which will immediately make Poland look like this. And then we're going to move on to the war with Estonia. They would probably send an ultimatum, but Estonia would probably deny. You seeing how they ended up, how the other Baltic countries ended up, but Estonia is going to be surviving this one. So Poland is gonna immediately roll through Estonia, all the southern half, before they reach all the northern half, which will be the point where they will begin to slow down, except for the fact that their navy over here is beginning to take action onto the Estonians, which will cause them a lot of failure as they completely surround Estonia, which Finland does not like because I'm pretty sure they're extremely friendly in real life, but oh well. Estonia will immediately fall, and Estonia will actually live in this war. They just won't be living as much as their capital. Their capital will probably be like right there, and they will end up becoming a puppet state of the Polish Lithuanians. And yes, I am calling them the Polish Lithuanians, as that's what they basically are, the Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth. So, yeah, that's what they basically are. And they get immediately highlighted as a puppet state. The next country they would probably go after would be Belarus, seeing how Russia is busy in Ukraine and they want to take advantage of Belarus, so they would be their next target. They would immediately begin to roll through the northern Belarus and begin to attack all of northern Belarus, and boom, they've taken over this much land and they continue to roll through, almost immediately reaching the border with Russia. As that border begins to grow more and more, which will continue to make Russia even more nervous and try to speed up their 3-day military operation in Ukraine. Belarus will surrender in hopes of surviving, which is sadly not true, as Poland will fully annex them. They didn't fully annex Estonia because Estonia wasn't part of the ancient Commonwealth as desired between Polish and Lithuania. But as we know, the beginning of this video, I said the Polish Empire, which is only specifying Poland and for future desired lands, which this would probably be more desired lands, but they would go after Kaliningrad, but Russia controls that land. Next, they will immediately join on the war in Ukraine. So I'm gonna color in the map, or color in Ukraine, and we're gonna have Russia highlighted as orange to simulate the other opposing forces. I'm going to highlight Crimea as occupied land due to the Crimean annexation, and I think it fits still. And now we're going to have Russia amplifying their invasion into Ukraine as seeing Polish imperialism. But that doesn't stop there, as Poland immediately begins to roll through western Ukraine, especially liberating Ukraine, even though they're going to try taking massive amounts of land from Ukraine. And Poland has already taken over Kyiv and is already planning to continue down to the Black Sea. Russia will see this and they will immediately set down a defensive force, but Ukraine will finally fully surrender. I think Poland would probably fully annex the lands that they control right now, so that way they could. My mind just froze. That way they could control all these lands and fully split an even deal with Russia. So I'm going to go ahead and make these borders right here. And there's probably going to be an ad that'll show up right now, considering how, how YouTube likes to do its job, as nothing really works on YouTube anymore. Especially the ads you dislike, and they still keep showing up. I'm gonna continue to talk about YouTube sucking right now. Like, real badly right now. I disagree with what they are doing, and I hope they do reach this video, because I do not like what they do on a daily basis with how they moderize of how everyone does. What everyone does on YouTube. Alright, back to the video. Poland will annex all of these Ukrainian land and take their capital area, and Russia will go ahead and take all of these lands, including Crimea. And already, Poland is already a giant country. And we are going to go ahead and highlight another country now due to how weak they are compared to every other country in the surrounding area. Moldova is extremely weak, so they would probably invade Moldova next. They'd immediately roll through as their army is already over here and extremely exhausted, but not fully wasted. Alright, I don't know what I mean by whenever I said fully wasted, but yeah. Alright, Poland is gonna fully annex Moldova, and this is what they're gonna look like. Also, NATO is not gonna be in this scenario, as already simulated between Czechia, Slovakia, and Moldova, all the Baltic countries, except for Lithuania. I'm speaking extremely fast. Sorry for those who are listening to me speak extremely fast. Okay. So we're gonna fix Russia. By this point, Poland could probably stand against a good chance against Russia if they had another ally like Finland, Turkey, Romania, or maybe like Germany, even to an extent. But I think Poland is definitely on par with Russia as they continue to take military from the USA all the way from over here. They'd probably take a bunch of military from either the uh, the Black Sea coast, I mean, all the way from over here, go through there, or they go from Poland and through the Baltic Sea and go through over there. So they got two new shipping routes, or I guess you could call three, with this new area up here through Lithuania, that area. But they're going to continue their forces through, and we're finally going to see uh, a coalition form, and it's going to be this giant row as they declare war first. But Poland has been expecting some kind of coalition from the south, so they are going to immediately begin to invade quickly, as they already have a bunch of forces through over here, 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 and here. They've already taken the capital of Hungary, and they will quickly take over the capital of Austria, which will immediately make both of these countries immediately surrender. Which Germany sees this and says, like, oh crap, that's not good. They're getting a lot stronger than us. They shouldn't be able to do this, blah, 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 blah. That kind of stuff. But Poland is going to continue to roll through. And they're finally going to get an ally, and that's going to be Serbia. And at this point, Serbia is also going to be getting a bunch of land, as finally Romania will finally surrender. I'm going to make a peace treaty. Be right back. Alright, I just came back from the peace treaty I made, and we're going to put back on the capital layer. Two countries don't exist anymore in this world, and it's going to be Hungary and Austria. First, we're going to start with the Austrian half. You can clearly see them through right here, and all these areas right here. And this half is going to go to Italy. This part is going to go to Slovenia, which in my opinion looks a lot better already. This part is going to go to Germany, mostly because Poland couldn't annex it all, so they decided to give it away rather than leaving them alive. And now over here, Poland decided to annex all these lands, and so did their ally Serbia, and they will create a puppet state out of Romania. So now we got all of these lands now. Poland is already way bigger than what they were in their Polish Lithuanian Commonwealth, but they are going to immediately start another invasion into Bulgaria, which has been a target on Serbia for many years, and it'll Poland will bring in their puppet and ally. And Poland still has a land border right here, and they still got a bunch of troops that are stationed in Romania to integrate them. They will continue to roll through Bulgaria, and boom, they will fully annex Bulgaria. Alright, be right back. Alright, I just came back from the peace treaty, and this is what I decided to make them. Their puppet state Romania will be getting around half of Bulgaria, and the western half of Bulgaria will go down to Serbia, and the coastal part will go down to Poland, which is already instantly allowing them to monopolize everything, industrialize, everything like that. I would say they're probably well enough, way stronger than Russia, but militarily, I don't know. They're definitely stronger than them economically, based on their situation, but I think they could make it way better by one thing: either invading Germany and the Beneluxes, or the Balkans with Serbia and their puppet state Romania, which is the easier target, which is the Balkan states, which is what they decide to do soon as they declare war on Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, which we already know about Serbia. They will immediately join in, but half of Bosnia will immediately join in due to their political situation and all the ethnic groups there. But Poland will immediately begin to send their army in. Their army is already exhausted from how many military corporations they had to do, how many military coups they had to do, but they are still pushing in strong. And Poland will immediately capitulate Croatia, and Bosnia will go ahead and surrender, and Slovenia will say, bruh, why? Why did you do this to me? So they will immediately surrender. Peace treaty time. Alright, I just came back with the peace treaty, and this is the peace treaty I came up with. So, all the highlighted red is where Slovenia, Croatia, and Bosnia were originally at. But now these are the new coastlines and the new territory borders. It was split evenly and allowed both countries to get access to the Adriatic Sea, and it was also a part of the deal that Poland promised, since they couldn't get access to the Black Seas from Serbia. So Poland will immediately. This is their hardest boss they've defeated or going to defeat yet. It is going to be Germany. The reason why I say it's going to be the most difficult boss is because of their military, their influence, their economy, by the way, which is third place, in case some of y'all didn't know that. So they are very strong, but Poland now is stronger. So they will immediately begin to take up a bunch of land. Germany wasn't actually expecting this because they thought they were peaceful. They were on peaceful terms with Poland, but it seems Poland actually wants some revenge. So they will quickly begin to surround Berlin within a few weeks, which by now Germany is already mobilizing their military. But it's already too late if your capital was surrounded and they've already taken up this much land. Yeah, and Poland will swiftly take their capital, erasing it on the territorial map. So they will begin to take over Germany, and they will slowly take over all the Bavarian lands, all the Rhineland, and boom. Peace treaty time. Alright, I just came up with the peace treaty, and this is what I decide. So Poland is going to do a Uno reverse compared to what Germany did in World War II. So this is German lands, and now this is Polish lands. So they deem it as fair as yeah, as of what they did in World War II. So they deem it as fair, and also Poland is continually increasing their trade with the USA as much as they want now, as they are not going to be able to get blocked off by the Baltic coast or by the Mediterranean Sea, though they can still get blocked off from Norway to England, or to Scotland, I mean. Scotland. But, Poland will declare war on the Netherlands, onto the Dutch, and I'm just not gonna even do the peace treaty. I'm just gonna do this. They are gonna swiftly annex all of the Dutch, and they're gonna do this. Am I placing down stuff? Okay, what I'm trying to do is erase their capital. So this is not gonna be all. This is not gonna be it for all of the Polish, but this is what's gonna be it for Western Europe. So they promised that to the British, French, Italians, and Spanish. Which now, since the Polish are this big, they can handle Germany by them, or not Germany. They can handle Russia by themselves, as Uncle Sam is feeding them like copious amounts of weapons. Like it's modernly insane. So I'm just gonna size that up and highlight the ones that I'm only gonna show to y'all. Yeah. So this is what they're gonna do to So their plan is to take all of this, all of the Caucasian region, and swiftly take St. Petersburg and take over the capital. That's what their plan is, and let's see if it's gonna be successful or not. But what they do end up doing is they will swiftly take, they will swiftly block off all Russian coasts down here, intercepting all Russian boats or anything like that, and they will do the same for Kaliningrad and for St. Petersburg, as they will now call in their ally to the war, and boom. So yeah, Russia, you have no supplies in Western Europe or in Europe in general. No one likes you in Europe in general. So surprisingly, a country who has not been on their side, but they join in anyways, is going to be Finland, as they still feel that Finnish rage from World War II. The Finns will go ahead and begin to invade into Kalinia, this little peninsula that Russia owns. I talked about it in my Denmark video, so I would watch that. The Polish will swiftly take over areas from the Baltics and the Belarus. Now they will begin to invade into the Ukrainian areas, and there's going to be little bits of pushback until Russia will finally begin to notice what's going on. But it's already too late, as Poland begins to act in their phase two. Boom, boom. They fully blocked off the Caucasus from the Russians, and they will begin to invade into it, where now they're taking all of the juicy oil from up here, or down here, or whatever, which now they will fully surrender. And now Russia, they're going to act for phase three. Finland isn't a part of it, but they're doing their own military plans. They have already completed their military plans, so now they're just waiting on to Poland, which um, will swiftly begin to surround their capital from all sides, from like this, and yeah, they will begin to do that. fully surround their capital, and boom, they're done. This was their plan. They weren't going to take any territory, surprisingly, but the only thing they planned on doing was showing Russia that they can defeat them, and you are weaker than someone that's smaller than you. Which, yeah, that would put a huge blow to the Russian morale system. And I think that's going to be it for today's video. Um, yeah, everyone have a wonderful day or weekend, and bye.